Hallo iedereen, welkom bij Dutch&Go. Today we're going to talk about exams, and specifically the CNaVT exam. I just want to walk you through a little bit how the exam is organized, when it's organized, what the current situation is with regards to Corona, and how to prepare yourself basically for the exam. So first of all, with regards to preparation, nice and easy. Either you can book a class, specifically with private teachers, why not me? But also the teachers are fine, but the point is, private classes in general are just great for exam preparations, and I'm just really not saying this for myself, that's not my point, but really, private classes are just the best exam preparation that you can have. And even if you don't have a lot of money to spend, you could try to do as much group classes as you can, but then maybe just like 2 or 3 weeks before you start the exam, book at least maybe 2 or 3 classes per week to specifically train for the exam with a private teacher. That's going to help you so much, and it's just going to be so productive to get direct feedback and just see what you can improve and just have someone simulate the exam together with you. Also, there's a fantastic website called Nederlands.org, and they basically just have a lot of similar exercises rather directly from the CNaVT exam, or at least similar to that. And that website you can also just use to train and practice and prepare yourself also for the CNaVT. Very useful. Of course, disadvantage, you don't get any direct feedback from the website. They're just there for PDF. As a PDF. So yeah, again, mostly useful when you do them with a teacher or with a native speaker of Dutch or someone else who just knows what they're talking about to just guide you through what is correct and what isn't. But at least that way you can get an idea of what it is. And then finally, the CNaVT website also has some exemplary exams of their exams online. That's basically it. Then number 2, with regards to the organization of the exam, and this is where things get a little bit messy and complicated. First of all, normally CNaVT is only organized once a year, namely in May, and for that normally you have to subscribe, or rather register. You have to subscribe actually to this channel, and you have to register for the exam. That's it, people. Subscribe, channel, register, exam. That's it. So you have to register for the exam, I think somewhere in the middle of March, and then the examination will be normally in May. You don't have to go to Belgium to take the CNaVT exam if you're not in Belgium. On the website, and I'll be posting a link, you can check out all of their other official examination centra around the world, which, yeah, depending on the country, can just be a private teacher in his home organizing the exam, or it can just also be a school who is officially certified to do the exam. Whatever, that really doesn't matter. And I'm also an official examinator for CNaVT, so in case you're interested, but that would only be for people who are in Lisbon. And I also am not sure how it is with the new regulations with regards to Corona, how things will progress. But anyway, you don't have to go specifically to Belgium to take the exam in one of the official examination centra there. You can just also do it in your country, well, of course, depending on where you live, and that you can check out in their on their website in the link that I've posted below this video. With regards to registration now in Corona time, so this year the exams got cancelled because of Corona, and it looks like we'll have a new examination in August, which would be at the B2 level, Educatief Startbekwaam. I'll talk about the different exams that CNaVT has in a moment. But that would be only for that exam, so basically that's just to guarantee that students can take the exam so that they can start studying in Flanders or the Netherlands in September. And then there would be a new examination, a complete full examination of all of the different CNaVT exams out there in November. However, as I'm sure you know, as I'm sure you know, everyone knows, nobody knows basically. So right now those are the dates that those are the indications rather that they've given on the website. But yeah, we don't know how the situation is going to evolve. Maybe there's also going to be a possibility for doing it online, although I don't see it really happening anytime soon. But whatever, we'll just see how it evolves. In the meantime, just continue to check the CNaVT website just to be up to date and just to be sure and yeah, make sure to know what is going on, and yeah, just keep track of it basically. And that's the best that I can give you. Now, with regards to the exams and how they're organized, basically each exam consists of 3 parts, parts A, B, and C. And this is where it gets a little bit complicated because they mix different capabilities. So normally horen and schrijven are mixed. Then luisteren en schrijven are mixed. With lezen as well, and then there's also spreken and lezen. So it's not that easy to just sort of separate it, but there's basically always a focus on horen, lezen, and spreken. And then there's always a link to either schrijven or spreken depending on the task. So that's basically the best that I can explain it to you, but basically each exam consists of 3 parts. Again, if you want to have a specific idea of what exams look like, check out their website. Now let's look at the different exam types. So they have different exams organized according to level and according also to your specific needs. There's only one type of A2 exam, which is maatschappelijk informeel. It's an informal exam. It's basically for informal everyday situations. Then there's at a B1 level, maatschappelijk formeel. That's a bit more formal for anyone who wants to function independently in Flemish or Dutch society. Then there's the B2, B2, zakelijk professioneel, which is a lot more for people who are working in industries, companies, etc. Anyone who wants to work in administration or even healthcare, etc. should take that exam. Then there's also at the same B2 level, educatief startbekwaam. That's for anyone who wants to study at a Dutch or Flemish university or higher level educational institutes. And then finally there's the C1 exam, educational professional, educatief professioneel, and that's for anyone who wants to function in education or in a company context and needs a highly advanced level of Dutch. Depending on your work, study, the country, where you are, what you're doing, you will need a different certificate. And CNaVT is of course only one examination. The Netherlands has their own program, program 1 and 2 of the NT2 examination. If you want to see a video about that, I also made an introduction video that you can watch here. The difference between CNaVT and this NT2 exam can be quite substantial, with the main difference being that normally the speaking part for CNaVT is with a real person, whereas the NT2 exam is in front of a computer. I'm going to talk about the various problems and issues and things like that that could have in another video, but yeah, just for you to be aware of. Depending on where you are and what you want to do, where you will need a different certificate and will need to do a different examination, and unfortunately it's not always super transparent whether you can do a CNaVT instead of the NT2. I would generally say that due to the structure of the exam, the CNaVT is a little bit easier and also a little bit easier in terms of preparing for it. In terms of level, I don't think it makes a difference. If you don't speak Dutch well, chances are that you'll not be able to pass CNaVT or NT2 for that matter. But the preparation for NT2 is a lot more specific due to the very specific kind of questions that they ask you with regards to spreken and specific tasks that you have to accomplish. And yeah, the questions and the way that it's organized and structured in itself. Whereas CNaVT is a little bit easier to prepare because it's a lot more free-flowing and you have a lot more, let's say, room for error, if that makes sense, in terms of just freely speaking. Whereas with the NT2, due to the structure and the 15 and 30-second responses that you have to give, it's a lot more strict and yeah, a lot more limited. So just for you to be aware of, if you have a choice, I personally would just always go for CNaVT because that would be easier. There's also another exam which is specific for Flanders, and that's the ITNA, but I'm not going to talk about that now, and that's for another video entirely. So there you go. That was a very quick, comprehensive introduction to CNaVT, how it's organized, when it's organized, and how you can prepare yourself for it. If you have any other specific questions, let me know in the comment box down below. I will be making some more specific videos about both the NT2 exams and the CNaVT exams, so hold your horses. This is just an introduction. I'll be coming back to this more extensively. Yeah, I hope this video was useful for you, at least as an introduction video. Let me know if you have any questions. En tot de volgende keer. Dit was Dutch&Go. Dag!